Hi, my name's Justin. I decided to start making some videos because for whatever reason I have some affinity for trying to grow sweet corn. And so some of you might think that's funny, but I don't know why. This year I almost wasn't going to grow anything because for the past 2 or 3 years I have tried. I've had some success and some failures, last year being one of them. And this year I almost wasn't going to. I was going to not grow anything. I have done nothing with where I was growing my sweet corn. You can see it behind me here. That's one spot. And then this here on my hill by the farmer's field was actually my best spot. I think because it has the best drainage. We have really heavy clay soils here in southern Indiana. And so there's some really wet spots and some spots that do well and some spots that don't do so well. So I finally broke down. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's actually Memorial Day today. Um, I'm technically kind of late for sweet corn if I were trying to sell it to people, but I'm not really worried about that. It's basically prime planting season for farmers with their field corn. And so I'm technically not too late. I can still grow corn. And I've kind of broken down and decided I was going to try to grow some this year. And one of the big reasons was I've put so much work into these fields for the past, well, I say fields, my spots for the past 2 or 3 years. I mean, I had these spots here. My awesome neighbors across the road let me put some corn in on their lawn. And then my in-laws actually had, that's where my biggest piece was, my in-laws had like a quarter to half an acre where I had tilled up their lawn and yard and made it a cornfield. I tried. That was my least spectacular piece, and one of the ones I tried the hardest on. But I'll be fair, I tried soil sampling myself. The little kits you can get at the hardware store, and I tried doing my best with that and trying to read what the plants look like as far as nitrogen and how green in color they were and everything. I never actually got professional soil samples done, and so that might be my biggest downfall. And so this year, I've decided I'm going to grow corn again, and I'm not going to till up the neighbor's yard again or the in-laws' yard again unless this works. And so I'm gonna start with these two pieces. Sorry if I keep getting too close with it, but using my phone here. I decided I'm going to tilt these two pieces, and one of the biggest reasons why is I put so much work in these, and I hate to see them go back to just being lawn since I finally got them worked up. As you can see, they're already on their way back to being lawn. But uh, you know, I put so much work into these and try to do so much. I just couldn't stand to let them go. And the neighbors and the in-laws piece are going to do the same thing. But I've made their yards ugly for long enough. So uh, if I get on these now and I start working them, they'll work up fairly well, and I'll have to use a tiller because this last fall I sold all my implements I had. I kept my tractor, but I sold my disc, I sold my cultivator, my planter. I even went out of the way. I had got really ambitious and bought a white 4-row corn planter. And was it four? Might have even been a 6-row. I can't remember now. And well, there goes the neighbor now with the bean planter. Um, but I just sold it all. I was so fed up last year that I just decided I was going to sell it all. So what I have is I have my neighbor's tiller. I have a push behind walk. I forget what they're called now. Those like kind of home and garden planters with the seed plates and stuff, and you kind of push them along and plant. So I got that, and I got a tiller. And I'm going to leave the rows far enough apart that my push mower can go down in between for the weeding and the not really cultivating, but for the weeding and keep the grass down. Because I'm not a real big believer in herbicides and everything. They have a purpose and everything, but I don't want to do that to make my weeds go away and then try to make the corn grow and kill all the microbes in the soil and everything. I've actually done a lot of reading on no-till and all that stuff. That's a whole other thing. Um, so I think we're going to give it a shot. The worst I can do is grow terrible corn again. And I really like tending to it after work and everything. When I'm done with work, come home and kind of just walk through it and pull the weeds and whatnot. So I'm going to give it a shot. So if I also decide I'm going to start making some vlogs on this. And so if anybody sees this and has any input or has any ideas what I should do or whatnot, please feel free to leave a comment and join me on this journey. So I just looked at the forecast and there's not any rain in sight for at least a week. So I have time to till this up. I think I'm going to till it once and pull the root balls and stuff off of it and then let it set. And I might till it one more time. And then I will try to get everything planted like a day or the day before a rain, hopefully a rain event. Or if I have to, I can just kind of water it, but I don't really want to because, I always believed in it should do its thing without having to have water. All these millions of acres we have in this country, they don't get irrigated because they depend on rainfall because you can't water that much acreage. And so I'm kind of going the same way. So I'm going to try to get it tilled sometime this week after work when it gets cool, because right now it's like 80 some odd degrees in the shade. Luckily it's not humid. And I, I'm gonna bite the bullet and try to grow corn again. I I told my neighbors. Everybody asked me, especially my neighbors, because they believe in me. And they go, "You gonna grow corn again?" I go, "Nope, I'm not growing nothing. I'm not doing it." And they keep asking me, "You gonna grow?" Nope, I'm not doing it. And it just I have this urge to try to grow stuff, and it doesn't have to be corn, but I just like sweet corn, so naturally it's the thing I gravitate towards. But I I don't know, I really have this desire to farm, right? And I don't come from farmers. I've had past family and whatnot that have daily dairy farms and small operations like that, but nothing close or anything like that. And I had this affinity for tractors and everything and equipment and just we'll look at tractors some other day, but I just really like it. I like the work and the processes in it and trying to learn and figure stuff out. And so I've just always really had this longing for farming. And then moving down here in farm countries has really fueled my desire for it. And so I think I'm going to try to do it again. And we'll try to grow some corn. I yesterday was our Memorial Day kind of celebration, just kind of hanging out and really enjoying each other's company. And so over there at the neighbors, they had tilled up a spot where I was growing corn for their tomatoes and peppers and whatnot. And I walked through there and I saw a spot, and I said, I probably got half a packet of seed corn or sweet seed corn on top of my refrigerator. So I walked over here and I got it, and I walked over there and I made this little spot and I planted it all in there, and then I marked it with the branch that I used as a tool for digging my trench, and I watered it with a can of Bush Light, which is kind of fitting because they make that with corn, and covered it over and staked the other end and put that empty can of Bush Light on the end to stake it out. And so we'll see how that does, but so I think I'm going to give it a shot. And I think making short little videos and stuff like that would be kind of fun. And maybe I'll learn something more this year, or if anybody watches this or kind of leaves any comments, they can kind of share their insight with me and tell me what they think. But I'm going to give it a shot. So, anyways, like I said, my name's Justin, and we're going to try to grow some sweet corn this year. Hopefully, it's awesome, and we'll try to learn something else about how spectacularly I fail at trying to grow that stuff. Sometimes it's awesome. A lot of times it's not. So, anyways, take care, and I'll try to get some footage here when we get the tiller out and start laying this out and trying to build the dream again. So, I'll talk to you next time.